Hi, I'm doing a tag response for the awesome, fantastic Dave Nicholson, Axmus. He has done a 30 question tag. So let's move on. Moving on to number one. If you could relive one part of your life, which part would you relive? Anything in my teens when I had no problems, no quarrels, nothing. So I would say in my teens. What is the biggest secret you kept from your parents? That's easy. Um, they didn't like motorbikes, um, but when I was working over in the paper mill, the person who I was working with, he was going to Western to have a tattoo, and it was my very first tattoo. Um, the secret that I kept from them was we went to Western on his motorbike, and I was I told him to park up somewhere for me to go to meet him. I got on the back of the motorbike and I was on the back all the way to Western and all the way back. That was my biggest secret. Yeah. Moving on. What is the craziest thing you've done? Craziest. I expect I have, but I honestly can't remember the craziest thing. So I'm sorry, Dave, but I can't answer that one. Who is someone is that not your friend anymore, but that you wish you were still friends with? No one, because I haven't fell out with anybody to state I want to be friends with him again, so no one. What is the first movie you remember crying because of? Old Yeller is the one that comes to mind. Who is your youngest crush? Didn't have one. Who is your most recent crush? Don't have one. Why do you like your crush? As I said, I don't have any. Have you ever done something illegal? Bought a car, testing it out, went up the road, come back down the road. I was doing 45 in a 30. I didn't realise I was doing 45. I was concentrating how to drive this particular car, and I realised that I was doing 45 in a 30. This is going back about 30 odd years ago, but I expect I've done more than that in the past, but that's come to mind. Yeah. What is one thing you regret? I have a load of regrets, but more than I can actually say. I'm sorry, Dave, but what is the one thing you wish you could change about yourself? When I was in my younger days, I wanted to change a heck of a lot about myself, but now, since I'm in my 60s, nothing. Have you ever questioned your sexuality? No, I have not. Who do you pretend to like that don't actually? No one. What is something you would stand in line for 5 hours for? Nothing. Do you have any phobias? I don't class it as a phobia, but I just don't like spiders. I don't like them crawling up the walls or across. It just gives me the heebie-jeebies. So that's one. Who makes you laugh the most? Um, Whoever I'm around and they do something funny or say something funny, then I laugh. Yeah. What would you do if you won $50 million? $50 million. I wouldn't mind a million, let alone 50. I wouldn't go out and buy a house. I stay as um, a a tenant, but I would employ people to come in and do housework. I would employ people to do gardening for me, making sure it looks nice, putting plants in and different things. I would go off on holiday more, not overboard, but around the UK I would do. I'd be spending more time away. Yeah. What is the first bad dream you can remember? As I keep saying, I never, as far as I know, I've never dreamed. People say that you dream, you got to dream, but I'm 65. I cannot remember my dreams, and you would think, being this age, you should be able to remember at least one dream, which I can't, hence the reason why I say I don't dream. What superpower would you want to have? None. Who would you want to be stranded on an island with? Kate Bush. I'm going to go with Kate Bush. I think she's mwah. Absolutely, yeah, Kate Bush. Who is the one person you tell everything to? My daughter, my youngest daughter. We get on like a house on fire. She tells me and I tell her things. Moving on. What kind of parent do you think you be? I feel that I'm a parent, I'm a grandchild as well I've have, and I think I'm absolutely marvellous. Yeah, a great parent. Describe your ideal long weekend. Down in Cornwall, anywhere in Cornwall I can go down for a week or weekend, park up, static caravan, stay overnight for a whole weekend, go off around Cornwall. Yeah, my ideal. If you had 48 hours left to live, what would you do? If I had 48 hours and I know roughly what time I was going to die, I would feel I would put my best dress on and go to Nunney Castle and stay in Nunney Castle until I actually passed away. Yeah, Nunney Castle. Moving on. What is the biggest turn off? People who smams when they are eating, mouth open, chewing away like a cement mixer, that's a right turn off. People also who has a mouthful and keeps talking when they got a mouthful of food, that's another turn off. Yeah. Moving on to number 30 and last. If you could live anywhere but where you live, where would you live? I'm going to go with Cornwall. Cornwall means a lot to me. I love going to Cornwall for holidays. Whole of Cornwall, doesn't matter what, it's this end of Cornwall or right down to where Penzance is, the last bit of England, anywhere down in Cornwall I would live. Yeah. Hey, you know what, Dave, there's your 30 questions answered. Thanks for watching. God bless. Take care.